Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's your boy here after a very, very, very long weekend. Boy, never again. Never again why I want to do that. Actually, no, I do, but I don't feel like I've recovered from it in a way where it's like, you know what? I could go for some more rest. Like, I just go back and lay on that couch and drink all these Diet Dr. Peppers. Just so you know, you see 3 empty cans there. There are more on the other side. There's some stuff on the ground there, and you can't really see it, but the recycling bin is full too. Not to say that I've drank that many Diet Dr. Peppers over the course of a weekend, but the fact that we missed a recycling day and little backed up here in the getting rid of trash department. So yeah, hopefully by Wednesday these cans will be gone. But what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Mark Summers, Major Analytics, twitch.tv/Major Analytics, and it's time once again for another episode of Tech Talk today for July 8th, 2024. Surprisingly, well, no, not surprisingly. I must say for me not doing the show on Thursday, and then having Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, not a lot has happened. But also, it was a holiday. Not a lot of things were going to happen. So yeah, about a good smattering of news to get through. This morning on top of, hey, did some cool things, this week. Again, like I mentioned before, or I'm not sure if I did mention this, protested the 4th of July, because that's what you do when you're, protesting, an imperialist power. Also getting people to realize that the 4th of July is not for a lot of us. Like, if anything, it's not for any of us working class folks in America, but people don't want to hear that because it just threatens their comfortability. Let's see, that was the 4th. The 5th, I recovered because, man, the 4th took a lot out of me. So on the 5th, I recovered. 6th was the anniversary. And I guess because, it's not like we got a lot of money around here. We just kind of chilled, clean house, played some video games. I'm not going to say who did what. Just not going to do that. But we both did kind of go out. We did eat at Waffle House together as a family because my son also wanted to celebrate my wife and I's wedding anniversary for some reason. And we went to Dollar General and bought some groceries, and then we just kind of chill at the house. So also I changed some ink cartridges, or an ink cartridge. It was only one, and I changed it. So yeah, that's what I did on my anniversary. Sunday went out to North Carolina Museum of Art, met up with some folks. Organization called Gather Good, NC. I can't remember what it is that they do. I'm gonna look it up. Let's see here. Okay. So let's switch this over. Yeah, Gather Good Raleigh. We bring people together to spark action and spread hope. We engage your 5 senses to help you feel and do more. Our community connects deeply with each other and stands in joyful defiance, supporting those facing challenges in Palestine. So yeah, chilled with them yesterday at the Museum of Art, and kind of did like they were facilitating discussion, kind of like the kind of like the points of interest of how we got to where we are between Israel colonizing Palestine. So it's a pretty good discussion. Got some new information. What was actually coincidental was also Saturday. As you can see, I got my stack of books here. I finally took some time to pick up reading this book again. This is Palestine, Israel, and the U.S. Empire, second edition. Again, got to meet the author of this book. So that was one of the things I did Saturday. Took some time to kind of like read a good chunk of the book, which, again, act of defiance. Another act of defiance going against the empire is reading. Go read. Read books. Get a better understanding of things. Educate yourself, because they want you uneducated. They so that way they can continue to do things without you questioning them. And the more you know, the more you question. And yeah. So took some time to reading Saturday, and yeah, going to a discussion on Sunday, not knowing what the discussion was going to be. It was, oh, you're going over the things I literally just read about last night. So boy, I was fresh. So that was pretty fun. And then met up with the family. We had like an early, like a late lunch, I guess. Yeah, another march. 7 p.m. march. It was a 7 p.m. march on in July, which felt really fucking good. Like it wasn't hot yesterday, at least here, because like I said, I think it stormed a little bit Saturday. It was rainy and it stormed in places Sunday. It didn't do much where I was and where I ended up being. But yeah, like with the rains and stuff, it kind of kept the temperature down a bit. So about 7 p.m. yesterday, yeah, it felt really good to be outside. Ooh, excuse me. I told you, I'm a little tired. It's not like I've done much. Well, I guess that march did take something out of me. But yeah, honestly, it's just like, I just would like to just chill in a bed or lay down on the couch, let some TV play or something. Just kind of relax this morning. But no, we got tech and gaming news to talk about, including some updates of what's been going on in Japan with regards to archaic architecture. Cloudflare taking some steps to protect its users from bots, from AI bots scraping data, and iPhone users can play Fortnite again. All that and much more on today's episode of Tech Talk Today, starting with very interesting news story where Paralyzed driver Robert Wickens tests a Formula E car with hand controls. Robert Wickens was paralyzed from the waist down in a 2018 IndyCar crash. The timing Robert Wickens' life-altering crash at Pocono Raceway in 2018 could hardly have been more cruel. After landing full-time seat in IndyCar, he was named Rookie of the Year at the Indy 500 in June, finally showing the world his talent in a single-seat race car. F1's loss was IndyCar's gain, and the prospect of championship seemed certain. But a bad wreck derailed all of that, leaving Wickens paralyzed from the waist down. This past weekend, he made his return to the cockpit of a single-seater testing a Formula E car with hand controls at Portland International Raceway. It wasn't his first time in a racing car since 2018. For the last few years, he's been running in IMSA's Michelin Pilot Challenge Series, taking the 2023 TCR Championship in Honda Elantra in With Formula E's Gen Beta car weighs almost 900 pounds less than Wickens' Hyundai and boasts far more power and that immediate electric torque, more power than the Gen 3 Formula E cars that lined up the race the following day. Too, the 530 horsepower Gen Beta machine is Formula E's test bed and is able to deploy energy from its front electric motor in addition to the rear motor instead of just regenerating energy under braking. Let's see here. There we go. Unlike the steering wheel and accelerator and brake pedals most of us use, there's no standard hand control setup, especially for a racing car. When Alex Zanardi competed in the 2019 Rolex 24, he used a wheel-mounted hand throttle to accelerate, but braking used a hand lever. That would be a challenge to fit in the tight confines of a single-seater cockpit, but that's not the only reason Wickens and Formula E haven't gone that route. Let's see here. I suggest that sound. But if you want to be as competitive as you can be, you have to have the brake on the steering wheel in some capacity. It's not like a sequential gearbox where you just downshift and then your two hands are on the steering wheel turning in. You're tail braking all the way to the apex. In Daytona, for example, you're in the whole first section of the bus stop one-handed. It's like you can't be 100% committed to the corner every entry with one hand. The advantage of a lever is the amount of force that allows the driver to send to the master cylinder. And the current setup in the TCR car, there's a pneumatic actuator that helps supply sufficient brake pressure because I can only squeeze so much with my hands, and the difficulty with it is there's a small latency in achieving peak brake pressure, and that latency is not the same every time. While most of us would be rightfully terrified of having inconsistent brakes on track, Wickens adapted his driving style, something he says won't transition to faster cars though. Converting the Formula E car to hand controls is significantly more straightforward proposition. That's because, like virtually all electric cars, it uses brake-by-wire rather than having a direct hydraulic connection from pedals to calipers. It's basically just an electric signal that you could put it on a button if you really wanted to. You could do whatever. So for us, it creates a wealth of opportunities. In this case, that reprogramming two of the paddles that lurk at the rear of the car's multifunction steering wheel. Like, I would not have been surprised if they like grabbed some inspirations from like controllers too. Cause like, you know, if you use a controller to play a racing game, you know, you've got your accelerator here, your brake here, and just like being able to kind of apply brakes and like, so, you know, have something with longer throw. Let me see here. Let me put this back. Like to do something with like a longer throw to where it's like, sure, like that's not much travel on. But like, you know, be able to like, all right, apply, like you can sit there and squeeze just a little bit more to get just like slightly more brake pressure, less brake pressure and stuff like that. And do like same thing with like acceleration. Cause I feel like for me, I kind of drive my car the way I play racing games on a controller. And I think that's something I noticed a while ago. Cause it's like, and it could be detrimental, right? Where it's like, for me, I will push the accelerator, get the car to go, and then get off the accelerator until I realize, okay, I want to go more. And then I will push the accelerator again. It's not like I'll floor it, but I don't apply steadily increasing pressure to my accelerator pedal to make the car go faster. It's just like, all right, here's a push. We're going. I've noticed I'm going now. I did not get the speed I want to go in, so I'm going to push it a little bit more. And I feel like that's kind of what I do with acceleration on a car, where it's like, I'll push. Okay, need to slow down a little bit, then push and feather, push, feather. And like, I believe these are pressure sensitive, but I've yet to kind of grasp the concept of like maybe slowly applying pressure to the accelerator on a controller to get it to accelerate slowly, as opposed to just kind of like vroom, 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 vroom. And it's like, yeah, that's not great. I should stop doing that. I should drive better. As much as I think I'm a great driver, yeah, there's room for improvement. Which, sure, I would think that, yeah, basing it off of a controller is a great idea, but also maybe not. I rescind my former statement. Oh, excuse me. But yeah, I think this is pretty cool. I know I mentioned like I would like to see a documentary based on this, and somebody did share a YouTube video of a similar driver working through similar challenges. So can't wait to check that out. In devastating news, only because of the fact that I use the service, and it's only devastating when I use the service. If it's a service that I don't use, I don't think about it that much. It's like, it's whatever. It wasn't me. But no, because it's Twilio and Authy specifically, I feel like this is the most devastating news in the world, and everybody should panic immediately. No, but seriously, any time shit like this happens, whether I use it or not, it's a bad time. The company Twilio hack leaves Authy users exposed to text messaging scams. The company confirmed on Wednesday that hackers accessed cell numbers for 33 million users. Again, another reason why people should probably leave Authy. I've yet to do it because, again, I like for its initial thing of, oh yeah, we're not supporting desktop apps anymore. Like it only left one of my computers vulnerable, or not vulnerable, but just like affected, I guess is the word. I don't use Linux as a main computing platform for graphical stuff, so I didn't really miss it, even though that would be like another blow. Yeah, damn, I am fucking tired. But yeah, so this is yet another knock on Authy after, discontinuing the update, the desktop updates. If you use Authy, update your app immediately. Twilio, the messaging company that owns the two-factor authentication service, confirmed to TechCrunch on Wednesday that hackers breached Twilio and acquired mobile phone numbers for 33 million users. Twilio published a statement on its website also confirming the hack. Quote, Twilio has detected that threat actors were able to identify data associated with Authy accounts, including phone numbers, due to an unauthenticated endpoint. We have taken actions to secure this endpoint and no longer allow unauthenticated requests. Excuse me. The company added that there was no evidence that the hackers accessed Twilio systems or sensitive data, but updating to the latest version of iOS and Android apps on any device you're running is critical as they include new security updates. Twilio stressed that all the accounts weren't compromised. However, the hackers and anyone they share the data with could try to use the phone number associated with all the accounts for phishing and smishing attacks. So yeah, be careful out there. Like the one way Authy authenticates when you're trying to do syncing is like not the one way, the only way that you're able to authenticate and sync the passwords between devices is through a phone number. So one, they have a phone number that just random people could text you or call you or whatnot, but also they could try to input it into into Authy and get you to authenticate a request. Which again would make sense why people will probably want to leave the platform, because if you're now at a point where people are trying to get access to your 2FA tokens, yeah, maybe just don't be there. Everything is frozen. Ransomware locks credit union users out of bank accounts. The Patelco Credit Union in California shut down numerous banking services after the attack. A California-based credit union with over 450,000 members said it suffered a ransomware attack that is disrupting account services and could take weeks to recover from. The next few days and coming weeks may present challenges for our members as we continue to navigate around the limited functionality we are experiencing due to this incident. Patelco Credit Union CEO Aaron Menendez told members in a July 1st message. That said that security problems was caused by a ransomware attack. Online banking and several other services are unavailable, while several other services and types of transactions have limited functionality. Patelco Credit Union was hit by the attack on June 29th and has been posting updates on this page, which says the credit union proactively shut down some of our day-to-day banking systems to contain and remediate the issue. As a result of our proactive measures, transaction transfers, payments, and deposits are unavailable at this time. Debit and credit cards are working with limited functionality. Patelco Credit Union is a nonprofit cooperative in Northern California with $9 billion in assets and 37 local branches. Quote, our priority is the safe and secure restoration of our banking system. End quote. A restoration of our banking system. We continue to work alongside leading third-party cybersecurity experts in support of this effort. We have also been cooperating with regulators and law enforcement. And this is from a July 2nd update. So, good on Patelco. Like, they were like, hey, shit's about to get fucked. Let's turn off all the things to restrict the spread. Unfortunately, it's affecting a lot of people because they had to do that. Again, understandable, and it does suck. Hopefully people who are looking for bills to be paid, or hopefully bill collectors will understand that, hey, I was able to pay you from this account. Now I can't. And I was reminded, I was reminded when I shared this story earlier, that credit unions are a little bit better than banks. I still consider them banks. So I'm like, yeah, I don't know. All banks, just fuck them. But credit unions are owned by their members, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, maybe not as bad as a bank. So yeah, I definitely hope that, Patelco can get its operations back up and running again. People can get access to the money, and things can go on the way they usually do for them. A hacker just leaked 10 billion passwords. First spotted in a forum on July 4th. RockU 2024 is a compilation of 9.94 billion leaked passwords. The massive password dump includes entries from the RockU 2021 collection, data from newer breaches, and leaks and data cracked by the person who posted it. RockU 2021 released with 8.4 billion password entries, so it looks like we got like another 1.5. That 1.51 that were added, including millions related to social media sites. For comparison, the mother of all breaches contained 26 billion pieces of personal data that included information beyond passwords. You can read up on the full details of RockU 2024 in Cyber News' report, but this discovery's biggest takeaway is that everyone should show up their account security right away. Which, yes, please, of course. I know there are a lot of apps out there now that will let you know if your password has been compromised. Like apps, services. I think the iPhone has the ability to do that with the built-in passwords app functionality. I'm pretty sure it may be expanded upon when Apple separates that into another app. let's see. Yeah, I know that Apple does it. I can't remember if Bitwarden does it. I don't think it does. But like I've got like several different, like between apps and services that will monitor like where my email address or passwords associated with email addresses may end up. There are also sites like Have I Been Pwned, which is good, but I don't know if it's proactive. I don't know if there's a way for it to be proactive. So yeah, like keep up with your usernames, your passwords. Make sure that they have not been leaked. If so, go ahead and change those passwords if you can. Sometimes if the services that you are using detect that the account you use for them has been a part of a breach, they will reset the password for you. But normally that's when they themselves have been hacked. So what you may see has already been reported and have already been taken care of. Just be cognizant of that. Use a password manager. There are many suggestions on what could be a secure password, but whether you use a secure password or not, it is recommended that you use a different password for each account. Now, you will probably not remember all of them, which, you know, how could you? So this is where password managers come into play, where again, if you use a password manager, you put all these different passwords in it, then you won't necessarily need to remember it. You can just go to the password manager, pick out the password you need and apply that to the site. Again, a lot of these have browser plugins. That way they will fill it in for you automatically. Still be careful with that because I think Bitwarden, I'm not sure if they fixed it, but Bitwarden was one of the biggest offenders where Bitwarden is one of the ones where I think they were like leaking data based off of how a website form was built and something like that. So be careful. It may be better just to copy and paste as opposed to letting an autofill work. But again, that's, you know, security over convenience. Not saying do one over the other. I mean, I would say be the more security conscious, but again, just know what you're getting into if you choose not to do that. And always, if the site gives you the ability to enable it, enable multi-factor authentication. Again, Twilio, Authy may not be the hottest, but there's always apps like Google Authenticator. There are some multi-factor apps or features built in to password manager apps. I think Apple has an MFA component in their iPhones and iOS and iPadOS now. Maybe even macOS. I'm not sure. I think Bitwarden, LastPass might have it, but I do not recommend you use LastPass. I think Dashlane, 1Password may have similar things. So yeah, like there are places to go. Like there are multiple password managers. There are multiple password managers. I don't know why I keep saying password manufacturers. There are multiple password managers, and within those password managers, a few of them do have multi-factor authentication support built in. So yeah, you don't have to go my route of Bitwarden and Authy, because I am a masochist who's just begging for it, apparently. There are better ways to go about your internet security than what I am doing currently. And of course, see, I didn't even have to look at this. Use unique, random, and strong password for each account. Set up a password manager. Add two-factor authentication. Or, yeah, and I forgot. This is the one I did forget. Passkeys. Passkeys are great. You could definitely use a passkey. I've been slowly converting some of my accounts to passkeys because it's just been asking. I'm like, sure, why not? And that's what I've been doing. But yeah, again, your mileage may vary. Some things may work for you, some things may not. Just again, don't use the same password for everything. That's it. That's all I got. Just don't use the same password for everything. forgot to close Thunderbird this morning, and now I'm seeing the emails come through, and it's distracting. What's going on, Nine Eyes? How you doing? How you living? How are you feeling? In floppy disk news, Japan's national nightmare is over. I'm frustrated at the online. Oh no. What did the online do? Other than what it normally does. To frustrate. Japan wins 2-year war on floppy disk, kills regulations requiring old tech. They don't have any good diagrams of the RAM stick slot thing. Are you talking about the DIMM 4 joints that Takal was talking about earlier? Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, I saw parts of that conversation before I went live this morning. That was kind of weird. Like, his situation was kind of weird. Like, puts them in wrong slots, computer still boots, however crashes games. BIOS update then tells him they are in wrong slots. Switches them, everything works. Was he using DDR5? Because I feel like DDR4, that didn't matter as much. Oh. Yeah, I think, DDR4 didn't, that's what, and I think that's what was bugging me, because I forgot DDR5 exists. It's like, that wasn't an issue with DDR4. Like, they would recommend you put them in slots, and that's what I do. But yeah, that's odd. That's odd. See, this is what we get by going to newfangled technology. We don't need it. Is this where I get stuck in my technology age? I thought I would just continue to grow with technology, but no, I'm stuck on DDR4. Yeah, you know what was a good memory module? The DDR4 memory module. Didn't matter how you put them in, the computer still booted. The frequency of DDR5 is so high, it's basically at the end of the form factor. They're going to have to do something like LPCAMM2 for DDR6. Good grief. I'm glad there's so many people who understand computer hardware. I want to understand. I really do. It's just a lot. Like, understanding the geopolitical conflict in the Middle East is easier than understanding computer hardware at times. And I don't know what that says about me or computer hardware or the Middle East. I feel like that is ripe for analysis, just not now. Don't feel bad. I have an actual PhD in computer. Okay. I mean, I guess. But I want to know. I want to be computer smart too. This is what I hope this bachelor's degree was supposed to do for me. It's like make me smart in computers. But again, I do love and celebrate the fact that there are people who are smarter than me in this field. That way, because if you are the smartest person in the room, you should get out of that room. But then that always will just leave rooms with not so smart people. You know what? That's just terrible advice. We should stop following that advice. Like, no, be in a room, be in the smartest person in the room, just educate and elevate people. Like, what do we, oh my. This individualistic mindset, we have to deconstruct it. Damn it. I don't like it. Anywho, back to these floppy disks. The thing I do understand, Japan wins 2-year war on floppy disk, kills regulations requiring old tech. About 2 years after the country's digital minister publicly declared a war on floppy disk, Japan reportedly stopped using floppy disks in governmental systems as of June 28. Per Reuters report on Wednesday, Japan's government eliminated the use of floppy disk in all its systems. The report notes that by mid-June, Japan's digital agency, a body set up during the COVID-19 pandemic and aimed at upgrading government technology, had scrapped all 1,034 regulations governing their use, except for one environmental structure related to vehicle recycling. That suggests that there's up to one government use that could still turn to floppy disk, though more details weren't available. Digital Minister Taro Kano, the politician behind the modernization of the Japanese government's tech, has made his distaste for floppy disks and other old office tech like fax machines quite public. Kono, who's reportedly considering a second presidential run, told Reuters in a statement today, "We have won the war on floppy disk on June 28th." But he said that in Japanese. Maybe. I don't know. If he told that to Reuters, he might have said it in English. I don't know. I mean, who's to say Reuters does not have Japanese staff who speak fluent Japanese? Just know that's what he said. Although Kono only announced plans to eradicate floppy disks from the government 2 years ago, it has been 20 years since floppy disks were in their prime and 53 years since they debuted. It was only in January 2024 that the Japanese government stopped requiring physical media like floppy disks and CD-ROMs for 1,900 types of submissions to the government, such as business filings and submission forms for citizens. The timeline may be surprising considering that the last company to make floppy disks, Sony, stopped doing so in 2011. As a storage medium, of course, floppies can't compete with today's options since most floppies max out at 1.44 megabytes or there are also 2.88 megabyte floppies available. And you'll be hard pressed to find a modern system that can still read the disk. There are also basic concerns around the old storage formats, such as Tokyo police reported losing a pair of floppy disks with information on dozens of public housing applicants in 2021. But Japan isn't the only government body with surprisingly recent ties to the technology. For example, one of the San Francisco Muni Metro light rail's train control systems use software that runs off floppy disks and plans to keep doing so until 2030. The U.S. Air Force used 8-inch floppies until 2019. Outside the public sector, floppy disk remains common in numerous industries, including embroidery, cargo, airlines, and CNC machines. We reported on Chuck E. Cheese using floppy disk for its animatronics as recently as January 2023. Yeah, Ina says that 8-inch floppies are huge. Let's see here. I'm going to look that up. So yeah, so this is an 8-inch. This is a 5 1/4. And then a 3 1/2. Like, that's a vinyl record size. I don't think I've ever seen an 8-inch floppy disk. And the fact that they even called the 3 1/2-inch floppies when that was like hard ass plastic and they did not flop, unlike these, is wild. But man, like I've used these regularly. I've seen these, but have never used one. And I have never seen this. Never. That is wild. We've come a long way, and now they have storage on this. Look how tiny it is. Look how tiny it is. And yeah, don't mind my nails. I need to clip them. And there's even tinier storage. Like this isn't even the smallest. I can't have anything smaller than this or I would lose it. Which I have. I have had smaller USB drives and have lost them because they're that damn small. I actually was hoping I had an example on this desk, but I don't. Oh, wait. No. I might. Well, not from a don't know. Technically, I mean, because yeah, if we really want to keep it a man and a buck, you know. I mean, there's storage like this. I mean, it's, was it read only? But that's definitely smaller. I was looking for my micro SD card, but I thought I had 2 of them on my desk, but apparently I don't. There's one on the floor. And I don't have any other devices around here that have micro SDs in them. No, there's nothing around here. Again, I thought I did, but apparently I do not. No. That's a bummer. I should probably get that micro SD card off the floor one day, but that would involve me having to bend down really low on my floor. Like, I see it actually. Oh, I did have 2. They're both on the floor. Both of the micro SD cards are on the floor. They're in SD card enclosures. It would suck if they were both the micro SDs just on the floor. So, yeah, that could be more dangerous than I would want it to be because, you know, Roomba. But yeah. And then let's not even get started on like the storage that's just embedded on what was on motherboards now. Apple. Oh yeah, also Sony. Sony's doing that too with the PlayStation 5. FTC warns 3 PC tech companies of potential warranty violations. The U.S. Federal, jeez. The U.S. Federal Trade Commission said Wednesday that it has sent letters to several technology companies warning them, that their warranty or repair policies might violate federal law. This is unfortunate because, you know, just a week prior, or federal agencies like the FTC may not have the teeth to really fight this. Specifically in the PC space, the FTC sent letters to companies ASRock, Gigabyte, and Zotac, warning them that they may be in violation of the Magnuson-Moss Warranty Act, the federal act that oversees consumer warranties and is administered by the FTC. They have 30 days to review their policies and comply. Or a lawsuit will happen and it'll go to a court and then they'll be found to, hey, you know what? They're good. While the specific concerns vary by company, the FTC reminded the 3 companies that they can't, for example, place stickers on a laptop that caution consumers that opening or repairing the laptop violates warranty policies. Neither can they state or imply that their products can only be repaired by an authorized service from the company. That's right. Right to repair, baby. That's what's important. In the letter sent to Gigabyte, the FTC said that its staff is concerned by the Gigabyte written warranty, which includes the phrase, if the manufacturing sticker inside the product was removed or damaged, it would no longer be covered by warranty. ASRock's warranty policy is more specific, but the FTC's letter to the company took issue with it as well. Manufacturer's warranty will be null and void if products are modified, damaged, or otherwise tampered with. For example, the outer case is opened or optional parts components are installed, removed. Staff would also be quote unquote concerned if the companies actually denied warranty coverage based upon the statements by the 3 companies. While the language is somewhat passive aggressive, the FTC also clearly states that the violations may result in legal action. Well, we'll wait and see what happens. They've got these companies have 30 days. But also, again, given what has happened recently, I don't know how much these rules can be enforced by the FTC. So, yeah, again, we'll see. Cloudflare is taking a stand against AI website scrapers. The move might stem the wave of generative AI legally and illegally crawling for content. And again, I know there is some history with Cloudflare with it when it comes to hosting or providing CDN services for known alt-right websites like the Daily Stormer. So again, just want to put that out there for those who may be interested in the service. Also, full disclosure, Major's House and MajorLinux.com and all of their site, most of the sites do use Cloudflare for mitigation. DC8 does, or not for mitigation, but like for their cloud services. Some of it's CDN related, some of it isn't. DC Analyst does not because of, and to be fair, like, again, to be open and honest, not because of the issues with Cloudflare, but because I had not gotten around to doing it. Just want to make sure we put that out there that, hey, this is a thing. It was brought to my attention. I do appreciate that it was brought to my attention. So yeah, keep that in mind. It was brought to my attention. I'll make sure to bring it to everybody else's, because people don't think about that stuff when they are looking into using it. And again, use it or not, that's up to you. But just know that that's out there. Cloudflare has released a new free tool that prevents AI companies' bots from scraping its clients' websites for content to train large language models. The cloud service provider is making this tool available to its entire customer base, including those on free plans. Quote, this feature will automatically be updated over time as we see new fingerprints of offending bots we identify as widely scraping the web for model training. In a blog post announcing this update, Cloudflare's team also shared some data about how its clients are responding to the boom of bots that scrape content to train generative AI models. According to the company's internal data, 85.2% of customers have chosen to block even the AI bots that properly identify themselves for accessing their sites. Cloudflare also identified the most active bots from the past year. The ByteDance own ByteSpider bot attempts to access 40% of websites under Cloudflare's purview, with OpenAI's GPT bot tried on 35%. They were half of the top 4 AI bot crawlers by number of requests on Cloudflare's network, along with Amazon Bot and Claude Bot. Cloudflare is also why you can't make a search engine, though. Yeah, it's a hard thing, right? Like for me, I use Cloudflare before I knew about the Daily Stormer stuff, right? For me, it was like, all right, how do I try to speed up the website? How do I try to speed up majorshouse.com? How do I try to speed up majorlinux.com for a lot of people? And like, yeah, CDN was the answer, and being able to kind of like have a free way to use a CDN was amazing. Now, granted, it's not like going to be as great as all these other sites who are probably paying for God knows how many features, God knows how many mitigations to the attacks that may happen on the site. And it's a reason why I would want to use it for DC Analyst as well. But yeah, it's a lot of trouble that comes with it too. Let's see. Unless you're a big player like Google, Microsoft, Cloudflare will block your search engine from seeing so many sites because it is so popular. That's... See, it doesn't pull up MajorLinux.com. It did pull up Manjaro first. But yeah, MajorLinux.com is not listed anywhere near here. Okay, Major's house does show up. So who would I need to choose? What's the search engine I would use to kind of get past all of that then? If DuckDuckGo uses Bing, yeah, well, I guess while I wait for that answer, yeah, like, so I've turned this on. I've turned this on. It's good to see. Like, again, it is Cloudflare. They are, again, well, just like any other company. And again, this does not excuse Cloudflare. Mojik and Stract are totally independent. Okay, I'll look at those. Like, there again, and it sounds like it is such a cop out, right? There is no ethical consumption under capitalism. And it sucks. I hate that that's the cop out, right? Well, I'm surprised under Mojik, I'm actually featured prominently. Like, all of these are me. Yeah, surprisingly, this is all me for Major Linux. I'm afraid to click this one, but yeah, like, again, all of them are me. Like, Major's house and Major Linux all point to me on Mojik, which is pretty dope. Wow, even DC Analyst shows up here. But most of the alternative search engines people talk about actually use Bing in the back end. Not that DDG isn't useful. It blocks Bing's tracking. Okay. I also find that this is cool. Like, there are actual search engines where, like, if people searched for me on those, I come up immediately. Except for this one. This isn't me. I might be showing up in here because of Toot or Major Toot. Yeah, so things with Federation, they're probably listing federated servers. It is probably Toot.Major's house. And then, yeah, here's this one. This is not me. You know, so I don't know what that is. But that's interesting. So at least I do show up. I do show up on some alternative search engines, like, almost immediately. It's not like you're having to filter out so many other things to find me. Excuse me. But all right, let's move on to video games, starting with a game I played last week that just dropped the day I played it. The first Descendant. Of course, you know, there have been people who've been playing it. There have been some praises. There's been some complaints. There's been some issues. And one of the issues in particular has been some poor performance on the game or in the game, to where the developers say, hey, if you were experiencing poor performance, some frame drops, maybe uninstall and reinstall the game. I'm going to say that anecdotally may yield some good results, but not a lot. Not a lot. Can someone explain that game to me? It's Warframe and The Division and Destiny and insert Hoyoverse game here without the gotcha components. For me, I've asked my Tech Talk Thursday co-host, specifically Kev, I said, hey, should I get into Warframe? He said no, so I didn't. Also, the character designs in here, nah, I'm not gonna power through with that one. I will still say that because of the fact that this game has just recently come out, I feel like I can get in on the ground floor of this one. The design of it all kind of speaks to me a little bit more than Warframe does, because Warframe's character design, it just seems really creepy, and I'm like, I don't know. I mean, it's not to say that, you know, the first Descendant is also any better, but for me, it's like, okay, I can get in on the ground floor with this one, and I can kind of grow with the game. I can follow the game's progress, and like, this will be my like, now that I have time to play a live service game and it is free, why not play this one at the beginning instead of trying to jump into one halfway through and have to learn systems and this, that, and the third. I would rather play this one at the beginning and kind of see where I go from here. And if it sticks with me, it sticks. It kind of has a little bit. Unfortunately, this is still one of those games too, where it's like, I have to sit at the computer and play. I can play it with the controller. Like, I've played it on the Steam Deck and it's fine. It's just, I do not like the controller configuration for the game. Because it requires a whole bunch of like, hit LB and then do things like, yeah, no, I don't want to do all of that. I just want to hit a button on my keyboard and it does the thing. So that's kind of where I am. I probably could, like, if I were played on my Steam Deck, I probably could like map it to the buttons in the back, but also at the same time, I don't like using back button. I don't like using back of the controller buttons. The main performance issue revolves around frame rate drops across all platforms, which for an action game can cause gameplay problems. Nexon has acknowledged this and suggested a workaround. The developer is linking these frame rate issues to those who pre-downloaded the first Descendant and suggested that if you run into the problems, you delete the game and reinstall it as a temporary solution. Meanwhile, Nexon said it is investigating further. Players report mixed results using this temporary solution, with some saying it helps improve the frame rate on PC, but those on console appear to still be having trouble. That's not the only issue affecting the first Descendant. At the moment, Nexon has offered compensation to players for launch troubles that have seen promised rewards fail to turn up. Some players say they haven't received the premium currency they've paid real world money for either. Ooh. So while you've tuned in the status where I'm playing game, we are finding out some issues with some microtransaction shit, which again is something I don't really engage with. However, if I feel like I'm putting a decent amount of time in the first Descendant, I probably will spend some money in there. Because again, I would like to make sure the developers get paid. in some form or fashion. If it's like, hey, here's some money to go towards some cosmetics or something. I don't know. I don't. Insect Emu, thank you for the follow. Oh, have I turned off all the funky stuff because of those the hate raid stuff, or not the hate raid stuff, but that follow botting. What do you mean don't do it? I mean, don't the developers deserve to get paid for their work? I'm not saying I'm gonna like don't do microtransactions. I'm not saying I'm gonna fall into a hole, right? I don't like, because I just do not have the money to do that. But I mean, if I like were to, they'll get paid by the whales. It ain't you. Okay. Just feel like just give them a favor. If I'm enjoying something, I feel like I should, at least give them something. Can I buy a small thing? Could I give them a little something? Free-to-play are made for people on a budget. Then what is? What's made for me? Oh wait, I did buy, because I was pressured by my co-host to buy space lines from the far out or something like that. What's going on? You said email. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to ignore you there. Donate to your local food bank. You're right. She's just like right on the box of cans, or like on the check or the memo of like the donations. Like, this is for my hours in First Defendant or First Descendant, because I should not contribute to microtransactions. And they're gonna look at it weird, but they'll take the money. So I have no idea what the First Descendant is and what the fuck are microtransactions, but I mean, he gave $5 and we needed that. Thank you. Seriously, 90% of free-to-play studios' income comes from whales. I guess. Hopefully the whales are enjoying this game, because I don't want it to go away. I actually enjoy this game. Also, speaking of games that I enjoy, I came up here Saturday to play the First Descendant when I had the idea of trying Satisfactory, because I saw it was going 1.0 in September. So I downloaded Satisfactory because that was also one of the games I was having trouble running, even with my 3080. So, or my 3080 Ti. So like, again, I made those setting changes in Windows and everything suddenly worked better. So I was like, let me try Satisfactory again. Satisfactory runs a lot better. I can turn on Lumen global illumination, still hitting over 100 FPS on average while playing Satisfactory now. And I know this because I probably played about 2 to 3 hours of Satisfactory Saturday instead of playing the First Descendant. Because yeah, that game is good. That game is really good. From what I understand, it runs on Steam Deck, but it requires the trackpad. I said, yeah, nah, this is not what I want to do on my Steam Deck. I do not want to interact with this trackpad. Even though I wonder, you know what? I wonder if it will work with the touchscreen. I wonder if it'll work with the touchscreen. Like if the trackpad, you actually touch the screen, will it do the same thing? Because then I could do that. Oh, damn it, I'm gonna download damn Satisfactory again to my Steam Deck. I tried to show Satisfactory to my son as an alternative to Minecraft. Yeah, he does not get it. Then again, yesterday my wife and I, we were watching the show called Alone, and we were kind of having a discussion about trying to survive in the wilderness by yourself as Americans are constantly being sold rugged individualism, as opposed to trying to do what they do in Alone as a part of a greater, as a part of a community, and what that looks like. My son was not having that conversation, but of course, when he heard survival, he connected that to Minecraft, which again is the worst thing we would ever do or want to do, because then he starts talking to us about Minecraft again. He's like, yeah, in order to survive with Minecraft, all you need to do is just like you get some armor. You get some armor, and then he asked, like, why do these people have a bow and arrow? So they can get food. Why don't they give them a sword? And like, kind of talked about like short range combat with a sword, which again, proud of him. But then I had to be that dude and was like, well, the animals they're trying to kill aren't going to stand still and let you pelt it with a sword until it dies and give you meat. And I told him, I said, all right, look, if you think Minecraft is going to help you with survival so much, I want you to go outside and start punching trees until you get enough wood to build you a pickaxe. And then we'll go from there. I've yet to take him outside because it's hot, and I am not doing that to him. My wife was like, wait, that's what they do with Minecraft? I said, yes, that is exactly what happens. They don't get any weapon. You start that game, you were just dropped in as a person with nothing. And you have to figure out how to get the damn pickaxe. In order to do that, you have to punch the wood. You have to punch the tree to get the wood. It's like, oh, like, my God. But yeah, back to First Descendant. I deleted, reinstalled the game. There may have been some improvements. I don't think it was a lot though. Oh wait, and yeah, also speaking of First Descendant and what I did all weekend, so I was playing Satisfactory until we left to go eat and shop. And then came back, and then I hopped into the First Descendant to play for the rest of the evening. Oh, actually, no, I read first. And then I played First Descendant. No, I played First Descendant, then I ate dinner, and then I came back up and read. Or, you know, it doesn't matter. I came back home, played First Descendant. Apparently, keyboard and mouse movement was not registering with my PC while I was playing this game, to where my screensaver kept cutting on in the middle of fights. So I'm like shooting guys, like ducking and diving and dodging and shit. And then my screen would glow black. And then my screensaver will come up. So now I'm like quickly trying to hit the escape key, put in a password to get back into my PC to continue to play the game I was actively playing. Like, I can see if I was in a cutscene and it did it, but no, I was actively controlling my character in the middle of a firefight. So I know I was moving. I know I was interacting with my PC. And it happened like 3 or 4 times. And it was like, I should really, turn off this game, go do something else, or just like relaunch the game. But no, I took another mission. It was like one of the big Colossus fights. And then it did it again in the middle of a Colossus fight. I was like, I'm angry. I'm angry now. I'm going to go do something else. Yeah, this is when I know I got up, went to go do something else, interact with my family for a bit, changed an ink cartridge, and then I came up to read, then had dinner, and then I came back up to read some more. And it was like, you know what? I don't care about the First Descendant right now. I am angry. I'm just walk away. I haven't played it since. But hopefully I can get back in there. And now on IGN's GamesIndustry.biz, Hilmar Pétursson, I hope that's how you pronounce his name, making CCP tech open source will enable EVE Online to live forever. Okay, that was bad. Why did I do that? CEO also shares the secrets behind how the long-running MMO has gathered such an active and loyal community. Well, I mean, they make a good game. That's why. I'm pretty sure some other stuff too, but I'm more interested in this open source talk you got going on here. Oh, excuse me. As announced earlier this week, the company is planning to make its proprietary Carbon development platforms, which encompasses the studio's Carbon engine and other technology, an open source property giving other developers their chance to get to grips with the same tools behind CCP's flagship title. As with any instance of a company sharing its technology, our first question when we catch up with CCP CEO Hilmar Pétursson is why? For Peterson, I'm just gonna say Peterson. It comes down to legacy. Companies generally don't live very long. CCP is already quite an old company by gaming standards. We're not Nintendo. We haven't been around here for 200 years, but we're 27. That's already quite long because game companies are just not very likely to live for a long time. Part of the way a games company can live on is through the titles and technology it creates, but for those to last, they need to be shared. If you look at the macro trends in software, generally code that is open and shared has a higher chance to be robust over a period of time. Linux is a great example that has basically taken over the operating system business because when it's open, anyone can contribute, extend, fix, and enhance, and the longevity probabilities are much higher. You can also see this with Unreal Engine, which is a pretty big deal in the industry. The source for Unreal is readily available to everyone. It's not an open source project, but the source code is there. It's immensely helpful. He adds that the availability of the code makes it easier for developers to seek support because they can be more specific when reporting their problems. We want EVE Online to go on forever. Open sourcing the platform that powers it, in my view, is greatly increasing the odds of that happening. If there's anything I've learned from all of this is that you shouldn't curb the emergent potential by having too specific an idea of what is going to happen. I know from experience, when you give tools to people in a community, they will make awesome things. This is the story of human life and will outdo your creativity way more than you think. Every time you try to put a lid on it, you curb the potential, make it open, and the sky is the limit. Also, when the whole code is open source, it's way easier to work with the universities. We could do game jams over summer, having people contribute. It's open with no legal complications. So there's a myriad of opportunities that open up once you've set it free. And that's what you love to hear. That's what you love to read. So thank you, CCP. Thank you, Hilmar Pétursson, for, doing, I would say, like, that was objectively the right thing when it comes to software. When it comes to code, honestly, things should be more open more often. That's how we see things lasting longer. That's how we see things improve. Because like you said, like, you try to put a lid on that, like, you stifle that creativity, you stifle where things can go. But if you open it up and you allow other people to get access to that code, the sky is the limit. Like, it's a cliche statement, but he's not wrong. People can do amazing things when you open the source code and you allow other people to work with it to improve it. Like, I would not be surprised if EVE Online, which may not be open, like, they still pull in things from their open source project, the things that they've been able to merge into the project to make the engine, to make the tools more robust because it's coming from the community. And then, they bring it up into EVE Online or something. Like, I wouldn't be surprised. You start seeing modders actually making better things for EVE Online that they distribute, and then ultimately could just be added back into the these open source tools, and then everybody can get it without it necessarily being a mod. So yeah, that's stuff I like to see. I love to see that. Thank you so much. That's some good news here. Apple approves Epic Games store for iPhone and iPad in the EU. This is hopefully the end of all of this, right? I hope so, because just before this one, like there were still stories of Epic still accusing Apple of holding the approval. Like they were saying like, oh, it was approved because of this, that, and the third. But the latest coming out, this again is from Friday, was that Apple approved it. So iPhone, iPad users in EU, get ready for the Epic Game Store and hopefully Fortnite again. Something that, you know, iPhone users here in America can't have because reasons, TM. I think you can still get Fortnite for Android, but it's like an APK that you have to download. And even then, that's kind of like suspect. Summer Games Done Quick is over. It was this past weekend, and they raised 1.9 million. I was about to say billion, million pounds, taking its lifetime charitable total to 40 million pounds. Plus, Peanut Butter the dog takes on Ken Griffey Jr. in MLB. I wonder if that dog was named Peanut Butter after the dog Peanut Butter in BoJack Horseman. Because I think I've seen that dog, and it is a golden retriever, which is the dog in BoJack. No, that looks like a Shiba Inu. Let's see here. Summer Games Done Quick. 2024 is over for another year, raising 1.9 million pounds or $2.5 million for charity. The Doctors Without Borders, or Médecins Sans Frontières. That brings the speedrunning organizers' lifetime total to a staggering 40 million pounds or $51 million across all its events for charities like Able Gamers, Doctors Without Borders, Organization for Autism Research, Malala Fund, National Women's Law Center, and Prevent Cancer Foundation. Running 24 hours a day from June 30th to July 6th in Minnesota, the broadcast across the world on Games Done Quick's and broadcast around the world on Games Done Quick's Twitch channel. The in-person event was filled with delightful moments, including everyone's favorite pup, Peanut Butter, playing Ken Griffey Jr. presents Major League Baseball. I think we've got...
Yo, Lana, thank you so much.
We have a clip here. I wish... Okay, yeah, this is like a 35-minute video. I wish they had kind of provided the clip of Peanut Butter actually doing it. Okay, maybe this... Okay, so... Okay, this is 59.
Last summer, a dog learned to speed run. And this January, he's gonna do it again. As long as he's not too distracted and he gets a good treat. Awesome Games Done Quick has had speedrunners from all walks of life from various countries, but GDQ has never had a Doge perform on the big stage. Until now. Don't miss this historic event as Peanut Butter, the Shiba, becomes the first doggo to ever perform at Games Done Quick. When JSR lets the dogs out this January, we can all say with certainty, this has never happened before. See you there for some frame-perfect action at Awesome Games Done Quick 2024.
Okay, I'm really upset that there was just a trailer for that. That seemed not even... Anywho. Crowds gather physically and virtually for speedruns of either games like Elden Ring, Minecraft Dungeons, Celeste 64, Fragments of the Mountain, Halo 3, Old School RuneScape, Evil Zone, and much, much more. Next up, Games Done Quick will be hosting its all-women and femme speedrunning showcase, Flame Fatales, from August 18th to 25th, 2024. So yeah, good on them. Oh shit. That ain't great. Last but not least, virtual tabletop gaming platform Roll20 experienced a serious data breach. Looks like a rogue or a lich got into an administrative account to compromise personal information. Popular video virtual tabletop service Roll20 has experienced a serious security breach according to an email the company sent out to users. The email, written on July 2nd, warned users that their personal data may have been exposed, including first and last name, email address, last known IP address, and the last 4 digits of credit cards. However, the breach didn't expose passwords or full financial information, so that's good. The company discovered unauthorized access to an administrative account last week. It immediately blocked the impacted account, but this particular account had access to the aforementioned personal information. Roll20 doesn't know if anyone actually used this breach to scoop up data, saying it has no reason to believe that your personal information has been misused and that it's notifying users out of an abundance of caution. Can we say this is what we need to see from more companies when they notice breaches? Cut the shit off and let people know what the impacts could be while an investigation is going. Don't stay fucking silent. Do not lie. Just be open and honest. People will forgive you if you are doing the right fucking thing. Oh. Thank you, Roll20, for being an amazing internet steward. All right, while I get things shifted to see what else is happening or what has happened since we started the news, you got to understand how hard it is to not lie when you have shareholders. You know what? No, I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this. I'm not dealing with this. Without a can of Diet Dr. Pepper, not sponsored. But could be. But not. Oh my God. Uh-oh, I see some first. It is the best soft drink, thank you. I see some first in the news coming down. Let's see here. Don't care. Oh. Apple earnings report coming. First in its latest patch stabilizes servers and squashes bugs. I think I've seen this in the Discord. Wait, oh, that's Wednesday. Want to get some new folds and possibly a ring. The no-bloat government version of Windows 11. Windows 11 government edition? Okay. I want to play these Hoyoverse games, but it's just put them on Steam. Let me play it on my Steam Deck. Notepad's getting spell check. See, Infinity Designer Photo and Publisher now free for 6 months. What? Yeah, see, this is why if I'm going to a place that's going to sell me any type of cannabinoid, I'm not going to a place that looks like this. Like, the fuck. That would make me not want to partake. This image would make me like, yeah, no, I'm good. I'll stay addicted to my Diet Dr. Pepper. Ooh, that'll be fun. EVs are taking on combustion engines in a rallycross battle of technologies. Ooh. Wait, they're all electric rallycross? Yes, amazing, honey. Damn, Mario Kart 8, 50% off? Uh-oh, Embracer strikes again. Embracer own Gothic Risen and LX developer Piranha Bytes closes. Sparks of Hope is free for Nintendo Switch Online subscribers this week. Need to come back to that DF Direct. Aisha Tyler still out there doing the thing. And yeah, that looks like that's about it. So, all right, ladies and gentlemen, it's before noon. That's great news because I get to make lunch for my son on time. Programming updates for this week. Everything should be as normal as expected. This Thursday, we will not have a show because I have somewhere I have to be I have somewhere to have to be at 11 before 11. So there will only be 3 shows this week. And depending on if somebody is here or not on Friday, which it turns out she's not home, is what she said she was gonna be home. There may be a Friday stream. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah, that's all I've got. Thank you so much for everybody who tuned into this week's for today's episode. I just want to know how you mix up Viagra and honey steel. I do not know. But yeah, thank you everybody for tuning in to this morning's episode of Tech Talk Today for July 8th, 2024. Of course, you all could have been anywhere in the world watching and streaming, or you could have been reading the tech and gaming news yourself, but you said, no, thank you. We want to know about this honey and Viagra. For that, I have no answers for you. What I do have for you is that nobody's going to save us but ourselves. I love you and peace. Y'all still here? Anywho, thank you so much for tuning in to another video. Really do appreciate it. Of course, if you like the content that you just saw, feel free to like, comment, subscribe, do all the things that the YouTubers ask you to do. I guess that includes me now. Anywho, yes, like, comment, subscribe. Really do appreciate it. Support the channel over Patreon, PayPal, whatever. Check out the links in the video to anything else I might be pushing, hawking. I don't know. Did I sell out by now?
I recorded this ages ago. Have I sold out? Let me know. But until then, I'll see y'all next time. Peace out.